or the East-West Shrine game, the Blue-Gray game. They have classes all week long, so it's called NFLPA University. So they have been going through classes, seminars, educational sessions, where even guys like we ran into Lamar Jackson, had a chance to talk with him today. Richard Sherman is here. There's a bunch of guys that are out here. Calvin Ridley's here. All these guys are out here imparting their knowledge.
I might have to take the week off next year. Do it all.
Yeah. And they go through all an NFL-style week. So practice, meetings, conditioning. They go through a typical NFL week. And on top of that, they're having these classes with, big-time NFL guys. So it's a tremendous event. And so far, it's been all except the weather. Y'all gave us a bunch of rain coming down here.
What's better?
It's been good.
I mean, from the broadcast perspective, it's bad. But I mean, what's better than football in the rain? That's the root of it.
Football in the sun. Where it's not cold and rainy. That's just me personally. But that's just me.
Rain in California nowadays is like. It's a shocker. It's like, oh wait, it's not.
Our roads aren't meant for it.
It's like reverse. It's like a reverse APB. Like, wait, it's raining? What? Like, it just doesn't happen anymore.
Y'all potholes out here are a monster, man.
Yes, they are, man. Try driving the hoopty out here. I'm driving the hoopty right now. It sucks.
Don't go down Century.
I notice every pothole, every hill. It's the worst.
You can feel it coming.
I'm like, where is all this 40% tax going? It's not going to my roads. It's not going to my school system.
It's going to the train station.
But yeah, man. So this will be my third year in a row covering the game, and one of my favorite things about it is the coaching staff. This is the first year. Mike Martz isn't on either sideline. He's pretty much dominated this game, but you have. The coaches essentially are trying to make it just as much as the players. You got Hall of Famers on there. You got Ed Reed. You got my guy, Coach Slater. Worked with him back in the day. But have you gotten a chance to talk to any of the coaches and stuff like that?
Yeah, so it's funny you say that because we were potentially going to talk to Ed Reed today, but Ed Reed they've kept him under wraps, so we haven't had a chance, and we'll have a chance to talk with him. We're hoping to talk with Andre Johnson tomorrow.
Okay, cool.
As part of Chuck Pagano's coaching staff. But we've been fortunate to have talked to Chuck Pagano and Mike Tice, the two head coaches. So we've been fortunate in that regard to have the opportunity to talk with him, and both of them were amazing to talk to. Chuck Pagano spent about 3-4 minutes with him. And I felt like I was ready to run through a brick wall for him. Like, I was like, yo, I get it now. I see why folks want to play for Chuck Pagano. And Mike Tice, of course, former head coach for the Minnesota Vikings. He was tremendous, too. Gave us the scouting report.
The Love Boat, the Wizinator team.
Yeah.
Offensive line coach extraordinaire.
Right. And he was tremendous, too. So, like I said, the NFLPA, they have been extremely accommodating. They've allowed us to have the kind of access that we would want to have to try and give folks an opportunity to get to know these players and coaches better, but also highlight some of the things that they do from an education and preparation standpoint as these guys get ready for, things like the combine and pro days and things like that. This is, part of that particular journey. So,
and speaking of the education factor, so let's say aspiring young journalists, people out there, sports enthusiasts, whoever, who actually want to take part and coverage of this game, how would you describe that process for them? How would they get into that?
What are some tips?
So we're very fortunate in my regard where being able to do the show that I do daily with the Sports Radio America Network. What I tell folks is that find what you believe in and go do that. You go find the connections. You go out there and grind and go find what you need to, because what we were able to do is we did our show for, quite some time, but we were able to make connections with individuals simply through, email, Twitter, Facebook. I tell folks, don't be afraid to reach out to these people who, have opportunities for you to maybe go cover a game or be a part of a network, or if you're freelance, contact these folks because they're looking for folks just as much as you're looking, for them. So don't be afraid of the word no. Contact these folks, whether it be, like I said, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, email, whatever the case may be, because they want to be reached out to do these kinds of things. So we're fortunate in that we have our daily show and that our network has provided us an opportunity to do that. But that's what I tell folks. You know, if there is a specific contact or someone that you want to reach out to, just do it. You know, make the phone call, send the email, and don't be afraid to do so, because there may be something good on the other side of it.
I think that's a great point. And one thing I wanted to ask you, you know, before we wrap things up is, I mean, pretty much it seems like at any, because I follow you across social media, it seems like at all times of day you're always broadcasting, whether it's on IG, whether it's the podcast, the radio. Like, so just for you, what is the overall vision for your show ultimately? And, you know, kind of go into that.
Yeah, so ultimately we want to provide real, raw, and relevant sports talk. Like some of the inspirations for me include guys like, you know, the late Stuart Scott, Bomani Jones, guys like Michael Wilbon, and others who have been doing this and have done it for a long time. And what I like to do is talk about sports from a certain perspective that allows folks to really kind of get to understand not only breaking down games and things of that nature, but more so some of the things that are sports issues that need to be talked about and dealt with in a way that maybe you don't hear necessarily and traditionally on, you know, your normal, you know, radio stations. But for us, it's about content. How much content can we get out there, whether it be through, you know, Facebook Live, whether it be through IG, whether it be through, you know, even Periscope. I don't even use my Periscope as much as I probably should, because I don't really like it all that much. But, you know, and I will tell you, it took me a while to embrace, especially with IG. It took me a while to embrace it, because I'm not necessarily a guy that likes to put like himself out there. So it takes real effort for me to like do those kinds of things, because I'm not necessarily, you know, that kind of person who likes to do that. But at the same time, I know what I want for my show, and it's to be able to bring it to all kinds of different folks who enjoy sports talk the way that we do it. And it's bringing it from a raw and relevant perspective with a nuance that allows them to feel, you know, something different than the normal talking heads who say things really loud or say things really loud and wrong. Hello, Stephen A. Smith, and others. So, you know, that's kind of what we do. And also, we do unique stuff. We talk UFC, we talk wrestling. Like, I had a guy today, my guy's name is Kel Danzig, co-host of the Corner podcast. We talk pro wrestling. Like, I treat it as if it's a pro sport, because I think it is. Wrestling is still real to me, dang it. So, you know, that's just,
how do you feel about AEW?
I love it, man. I'm super excited for Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks to be able to put it together. And they got some real money that's being put behind it with Tony Khan, you know, the son of the Jacksonville Jaguars on it. So I think what's going to be interesting to me is the kind of roster that they fill out. They've got some guys like, you know, old man Chris Jericho still running around.
That dude is immortal.
Yes. And real quick tangent, just a touchdown to tangents. Chris Jericho.
Okay.
To me,
always welcome.
You know, to me, Chris Jericho, the evolution of him as a character, whether it be from the time that he was Y2J to the time that he came back to, I think the WWE was at 2007, then leaving, and all the iterations that you've seen of Jericho, and then to New Japan Pro Wrestling, the guy is constantly evolving, and that's why I think Jericho has been able to last as long as he has, because he's always evolving, you know, with the times. So, but I'm excited for AEW. I hope that they are successful moving forward, because, you know, I love the WWE, but at the same time, you know, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of competition. I think AEW could potentially do that if they do it right.
Yeah, because I think there should be a masterclass on how Chris Jericho has handled the wrestling business and how he's made money in it, and how he's definitely learned to be his own. Because, I mean, obviously they're independent contractors most of the time, but he's learned to be his own businessman, and like he's an icon in sports entertainment, and honestly, really just how he makes his money in terms of entrepreneurship. Like, his work in New Japan, honestly, I think was some of his best work. I saw that match at what was it, Wrestle Kingdom 13? Man, excellent, fantastic.
Yeah, Chris Jericho, and he's into his mid-40s now, still doing this stuff. I don't know how much longer he can keep going, but yeah, some of his work that he's done over in New Japan has been some of his best work in his entire career. Yeah, that just speaks to how good he really is.
When the booking is right, you can go a long time.
So one of our listeners, Ryan Perkins, she said, "You really know how to build a brand. That's commitment to your craft past your comfort zone." She said you're dope. So just wanted to give you a little positive reinforcement. And
man, appreciate that. Thank you so much.
No worries, man. On that note, why don't you go ahead and plug your social channels, let people know when your next broadcast is and where they can find you and all that good stuff.
Man, I appreciate it, P. Ken, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, we are the Clutchtalk Sports Radio live show. We are live tomorrow, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern. Well, let me back up since I'm on the West Coast. 1 to 3 Pacific time.
Hey, now you're getting
it.
There you go. When in Rome.
There you go. When in Rome, right? So the Sports Radio America Network, 1 to 3 Pacific tomorrow. We'll be live at the Rose Bowl. You can follow us all over social media at CT Sports Radio. That's on Twitter and on IG. And Facebook.com/Clutchtalk Sports Radio. Like and follow our page there. And I also am the host of what's called the Clutch Conversations podcast, and that is at pod_CC, where we have more in-depth conversations with athletes and journalists about some of the sports issues of the day. And, one of the things I want to do in 2019 is to continue to have more women on our show, not only our normal radio show, but also on our podcast. And our very first guest that we had when we started this back in September of 2018 was Miriam Fader, who is a tremendous writer out here in the Los Angeles area, actually for Bleacher Report magazine. So she's a fabulous writer. So, but yeah, that's what we do, man. I appreciate the opportunity to get on, man. I love what y'all do, man. I love the conversations that y'all have. Y'all have a lot of fun with what y'all do, man, and I enjoy listening to y'all. So I feel like I've arrived a little bit. I'm on touchdowns and tangents. Can't even speak, man. So I appreciate you.
No, we appreciate you, man. And I'll definitely catch you on Saturday. So looking forward to that.
One last thing for me, man. Please interview Eccentric Ware, because I know he's from Texas. He sat behind Ronald Johnson for 3 years. And then way to go, he wanted at USC. But yeah, get his thoughts on Whataburger too. And also just because I feel like he's going to be – I feel like his best football is ahead of him. Because he was really great when they gave him the ball.
We'll do. I appreciate that. We'll do.
All right, man. Have a good one. Stay safe out here. Stay dry.
Hey, appreciate it, man. Yeah, we'll catch you on Saturday.
All right, peace.
Peace.
Yeah, man, that was a great conversation. We got a little bit of tangents on there on some wrestling. Shout out to the Clutchtalk Sports podcast.
We don't really talk a lot of wrestling on here, but trust me, we're lifetime fans. Shout out to the homie Sean.
You definitely loop it in whatever chance you
Whenever
get.
I can.
Yeah, you definitely do.
I could have went on about Wrestle Kingdom the whole card, like how they all dropped their titles. Like, yeah, don't get me started on wrestling. I can go all day on it.
Yeah, man. But on that note, so I guess we should get back to the playoffs. AFC, the team nobody wants to talk about.
Yeah. I'll just make this quick.
You gonna gas Keith for standing up on Tom Brady?
Chiefs gonna lose. No, I'm just playing. Next segment. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, man, we got
Shout
Chiefs.
out to Michael.
We got Chiefs, Patriots. Alex and Mikhail, Courtside Radio got a little wager of wings on that, so that should be interesting.
Andy Reid versus Bill Belichick, the rematch, because I don't think Andy
it's
Reid
funny because
lost the Super Bowl to Bill Belichick, and now he has to beat Bill Belichick to get to a Super Bowl. The irony. I can't say I'm rooting for the Chiefs because I was a Raiders fan and kind of still am. It's complicated. And I'm a Rams fan. And I'm also a Drew Brees fan.
It's hard to leave your old girl.
It's like we had like pain babies together. Like I can't. I've seen them grow up.
You guys went through shit together. Like you guys got by on the 4x4 like a couple of weeks in a row.
We got by. Let's just say we got by
on regular Fritos and regular Lay's.
We got by on the 3 for $1.99 taco deals at Del Taco, and I gave her the second taco. She gave me the drink. That's my relationship with the Raiders. But yeah, man.
My coworker actually asked me. He was like, "Hey, man, I know you're a Raiders fan, so the Chiefs are obviously your rival, and you obviously hate the Patriots. So, like, who do you go for?" And much like you, I said, "Listen, man,
I'm never rooting for the devil, so I have to go Chiefs."
I have to go Chiefs because Andy Reid. I appreciate what he's done for the game as far as the coaching tree, as far as giving people second chances. and overall the adversity he's dealt with his health, with his wife, things like that. I root for Andy Reid, especially the whole Eagles teams, 5 straight NFC championships, nothing to show